Welcome to Next to Madison, a podcast to help you live your best life. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Next to Madison. On today's episode, we are hearing from a very inspiring young man who has a rare condition that could leave a lot of people hopeless, but instead, he decided to take life by the balls, so to say, and create a remarkable story and never let anything get in his way. And he's continued to thrive and to inspire so many people around him. He is a successful comedian, an actor, and the author of the book From Hopeless to Hollywood. So with that being said, I would like to welcome my guest on today's show, Mario Bosco. How you doing?
How are you? I'm excited. This is great. I couldn't wait to do this show. You know, I've done a lot of interviews, not going to brag, Jimmy Kimmel, this one, that
Yeah.
one. And this one is great. I love it, you know.
So Mario, tell us about your rare condition.
So, when I was born, actually, when I was in my mom's belly, her water broke. And it was a cold January night and they took her to the hospital and doctors gave her, you know, what the proper treatment. And then they noticed that she had a little bit of a cold and they gave her some cold medicine. Well, that was a no-no. Doctor gave her the cold medicine. Cold medicine went down her throat, obviously. Then it went down the fallopian tube and then it went into me and it burned my pituitary gland, leaving me to be 4'11" on a good day with a good pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Years and years back, growing up as a sick child, always having hospitalizations, doctor visits, needles, every which way, IV bags, feeding tube. I used to always say, why God? Why me? Of all the bad people in this world, why did you pick me that day? But now, after all the fortune that I've gotten, I want to call them blessings.
Yeah.
I say, thank God that I'm this way. Because who would have known what would I've turned into if I was a regular person? You know, could have been a criminal, could have been, you know, a billionaire, but this was my gift. You know what I mean? Like, Christmas is coming, so a lot of people love the fancy boxes, the fancy ribbons, and what's in the box. My gift came a long time ago when I became an actor. Took my negative of my disease and didn't sit with it. Like I said, a long time, I could have sat in the corner and faced the wall with a cone hat on, and I could have said to myself, this is going to be my life, and it's no way, no how. You gotta fight for what you want in life, because that's what's out there. And I hope this helps somebody.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's so well said. So, you are in Hollywood. What age did you break into the business?
Well, it's funny that it wasn't in Hollywood. It's in Brooklyn, New York, and it was on Avenue M and East 14th Street. There was an NBC studio. I was a 14-year-old boy, still going back and forth to doctors for tests and needles and visitations of weeks of a time. And a friend one day bumped into me, and I go, why do you have ice cream all over you? And she said, oh, I just bumped into Lisa Bonet. And I go, Lisa Bonet? Now, that wasn't like a Lucille Ball, yes, but it was somebody who I knew. And she goes, they do the Cosby Show right here in Brooklyn. And I said, wow, that's big that they do that. So I have, I don't know if it's preservation or my OCD. I wanted it to be part of that. So I kept going back and back and back to the studio till security said, Mr. Cosby, we got to let him in because he won't stop coming.
Yeah.
And Mr. Cosby invited me to come in that night, and he also invited me to stick with the show and come watch, and I grew. And then I asked him about a year later of how to break into show business, and he helped me out with castings and agents and stuff like that. And it meant a lot to me. And after that, I took off. There were pauses here and there.
Of course, but I do have to ask you, Cosby gave you your big break. Was that hard for you when all that negative stuff that turned out to be true came out?
Yes, 100%. I don't know Mr. Cosby of that. I know Mr. Cosby of being a total gentleman, always looking out for people, always, rolling out his red carpet. So what he did behind, the doors of his own business, I can't be responsible for that. You know what I mean? But I could only defend him to say that he was good to me, he was good to my mother and to my father and my family. Other than that, I can't say anything negative about him. I feel bad. It breaks my heart.
Yeah, I know. It's just amazing how, he was America's dad, and how he kind of used that power negatively. But that's the thing, is when something, somebody does something that is horrific, it's all their good deeds kind of get washed away, and people just kind of focus on the negative.
Unfortunately, that's why you have to do good in life. It's all you could do in life.
Exactly. So you got your break on the Cosby show, and then where did things kind of take you from there?
Well, then auditions came in, and then I did my first NYU student film called Mellor's Shoes, where I play a son in the 1930s who's jealous of his sister getting ballet shoes. And that was big back in the 30s. You couldn't have $5 for a pair of ballet shoes. You couldn't afford ballet shoes in that era. And to me, that was huge.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's great. And then from there?
What more auditions, some background work, some stand-in work. In 2000, I landed roles in other movies like Studio 54 and in movie Bullet that I play Stanley. Studio 54, I get to dance with Selma Hayek.
Yeah.
So many great things. And then in 2000, I landed on the footsteps of 20th Century Fox Studio in Los Angeles, and I got a role on NYPD Blue. It was a short role, but it was a really good role.
That's
and
awesome.
It made me happy. And, I remember a long time ago, and I'm trying to remember, Cynthia McFadden from 2020 asked me, what if this is it? Like, no more, because at that time, doctors were asking me about taking testosterone, and I kept refusing. I had said, enough is enough. I want to be an entertainer, an actor, a performer. I don't want to be, my voice would have changed, my looks would have changed, and I didn't want that. And, doctors were pushing it, and I kept refusing it. And whatever life, and I told Cynthia, this will never be it. This has to go on.
Good for you. And you just knew it in like your heart and your gut that
100%. 100%. I tell people all the time, go with what's in your gut and go with what you love, what's in your heart, the passion, the fire, because that's what's more important.
Right. So, for people that are listening too, some people have, feelings in their heart of I should be doing this, or, in their gut. How do they get the courage to break through?
I guess like I broke through, just take classes. If you want to be a cook, go be a cook. Okay. If you want to be an artist, be an artist. Okay, you get one ticket. This is our golden ticket. God gave us one ticket to life. Go out there and when you walk off this earth, dust off saying, I knocked it out of the park. I gave everybody what they, you're an artist. Go, I listen to Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey says it clearly. You can't live life on the edge of the mountain. you have to jump. Because if you don't jump, your wings are not going to open. And you live every day by day worrying about, well, if I can't, well, if I don't know, I can't do it. I have a friend, she always says to me, I can't do it this week or next week because my bills are due. Your bills are going to be due either way. You know what I mean? So get up and do what makes you happy. Do it, whether it's in a part-time hobby, spare time. When I did stand-up, I said this was only going to be a test. It's only testing the waters. And who knew next? I ended up wearing bow ties.
I know. And that's where, you and I met was, at Gotham Comedy Club doing stand-up.
Yes.
And I always enjoyed seeing you at those shows. It was always so much fun.
Love it. I miss it so much. I miss comedy in New York. I miss what is going on in this world. It's horrible. And again, you can't take your negatives, and say, well, I'm going to go to bed. No. Okay, so we have a serious situation in this world right now with Corona, and we have to live life to the next level. Live the fullest,
So how do you stay so positive?
I'm not 100% positive all the time. How I stay a little bit mentally, I guess by striving, by fighting, by making calls. We live in an era now where we have internet, we have cell phones. Get on your internet. If you want, like I said before, you want to be an artist, you want to be an actor, you want to be a comic, just like I started. Search, take classes, and then one door will open to the next door, and eventually something's got to click.
And what's your advice if you feel you've been knocking on doors and those doors just haven't really been opening? How do you know to keep going?
It's funny you asked me that. So I believe that what I believe is that I learned this. If you don't open doors to life are going to forever be shut. Now, that took that, and it's in my memoir, From Hopeless to Hollywood, from an episode of a TV show called Maude. And in the episode of Maude, where Maude is, I don't remember, Maude's Big Decision, it's the episode. Okay. And in an interview, when she's running for politics, they asked Maude, what would you do if you don't open this door? She goes, if I don't do this, then I'm going to always be wondering what would have been behind that door. And it would be forever shut. And that's not Mario. I'm going to open that door, the next door, and every other door behind that.
Amen. So what is your advice to if somebody is struggling to open a door and they feel that door is not opening? How do you pry that damn door open?
My advice I would give is, again, definitely the internet. Definitely, find your passion in your heart of what you want to do in life and what you want to be. After your passion has come and you want to do that, now take it to the next level. Search, take classes, go to the next level. When the doors don't open, just keep opening, keep opening. Look at me, I'm 4'11", I'm 85 pounds soaking wet. Whoever thought that, I've been a SAG actor 32 years. Whoever thought that I would ever be a stand-up comic, to be on a stage in front of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people and make them laugh. I always put myself down, and that's a terrible thing to do, because I always say to myself, well, I'm not that good. But something? When I leave the show and people are telling me at the end, you were so funny, you made me laugh, I didn't have to worry about tonight because you had me concentrated on that means the world to me. That puts a smile right up on my cheeks, because that means that whatever I'm doing, I may be helping somebody. And somebody out there that's watching may be able to help somebody. There's cooks, there's artists, there's actors, there's tremendous carpenters. do what's in your heart. Find the fire and run with it all the way high, like the Statue of Liberty. Keep running.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you do when you do get negative to kind of get yourself out of that?
Well, try not to be bothered. I try to get more work because, when things like that happen, I try to get more shows and stuff like that. I try not to, but there are times, where you may not get the gig you want to get, where you might not feel like, oh, he got picked or she got picked and I could have played that role, or I could have been on that stage. Why was it them, not me? So there were days where I felt like I unfortunately I don't want to say that word. Fortunately, I got to go behind. I guess it's behind. Go after Jerry Seinfeld. I got them. Was it the night that were you there?
I don't remember that. I don't know if I was
Yeah,
there
it was
that
Jerry
night.
Seinfeld and Jay Leno, and I had to go behind him. And I was a newbie, and it bugged me because I wanted to go before, because they had already been left out, and I felt like, am I gonna get left? So I kind of second count, thought, kind of second, and I ended up getting good laughs, and it was a great show.
Yeah, you got it. That's the thing too, is I think a lot of people, when some of these big stars will come into some of these shows and people get nervous because they're like, how am I going to follow that? I think that's the best training in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just follow. If I tell people, you want to be a comedian, go to comedy clubs, watch comics on stage. After you watch the comic on stage, go and take classes. After you take classes, do open mics. If this is for you and you want to continue, if you wake up and you put your pants on and you head to the place that you want to do, whether it's an art gallery, whether it's a comedy club, a music venue, and you've seen them, and now you got passion, and now from that passion, you want to go forward with it, and you take the class and you walk into that class, that means you made part one succeed. Because, you know what I mean? It's like, I got dressed, could have went anywhere, but I went to the class. I went to the open mic. Obviously, you want to go because you're striving for it. So that's what I feel is that I call for.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what do you have you ever in your life like felt sorry for yourself?
Yeah, as a kid, as a sick child all the time, being a sick
Mm-hmm.
child, 100%. Forget about it. I used to fight with every doctor in Mount Sinai. Every single one of them. I kicked one that was pregnant who ended up being a really, really sweet doctor. Fought with anybody. There was a time when I had to be tube fed. They would put the tube in. I would pull it out. I would put it in. I would pull it out. But eventually, I knew that had to be a part of my journey. It's like hanging pictures on the wall. That's what it's basically like. Every picture I hang is another part of my life.
And so when did you kind of snap out of that, like feeling sorry for yourself and saying, you know what, this is my gift. This is how God made me.
I think that when Bill Cosby discovered me, when he discovered me and I became part of the Cosby Show, maybe not as a cast member, but as part of, being there, and then becoming an actor, and then saying to myself, well, I got something. I'm gonna hang on to the bull's horns and run with it. And then from acting led on to other jobs and then TV shows and more stuff and interviews. And then my memoir came out. And after my memoir, I became a stand-up comedian.
So tell us more about this memoir, From Hopeless to Hollywood.
Yes. Well, the hopeless part is everybody kept criticizing me, going, why did you call it hopeless? Hopeless was because I was basically hopeless as a little child. I've had about 6 convulsions. I've spent many of dark days, Christmas Eves, Easter Sundays, birthdays, 4th of July's, right in the ER with low blood sugar. So that's the hopeless part. And
Yeah.
I've had the fortunes and the gift of God and Jesus to have landed on Hollywood Boulevard
Oh my,
and
I
walked the
know.
footgrounds of Gromwich Chinese and landed on the footsteps of Jimmy Kimmel and NYPD Blue at 20th Century Fox. I bumped in, I took over one of the golf carts because I'm from Brooklyn. We know how to take over things. And I said, I need a golf cart. I can't drive. And they said, no, we can't give you golf carts. You're only a guest, but you're not a celebrity. No, I need to go. Finally, they gave me a golf cart. One day I was making a U-turn. I was by the Daryl Zanuck building he owned 20th Century Fox. And I hit the wall because I saw Whoopi Goldberg. I didn't want to bump into her. And I sat down and Whoopi and I were talking and she was telling me stories. So those are my fortunes. Those are my paintings on the wall that shine. And I don't look at those negative times. When I wrote the memoir From Hopeless to Hollywood, I was looking for pictures of my hospital days. And my mom reminded me that I had ripped them up and tossed them out because when I was young, I didn't want to have to face that music. And just a part of me that just didn't want to, have that in me. I wanted it to be a forgotten moment in the past. I wanted to live life like a normal human being. I wanted to be Mario, you know what I mean? And nothing stops me. I'm a character, as my friend says. You're a character. You're gonna pop out of a bottle like a genie one day, like the dream genie. Pop, so that to me has got, some joy.
Yeah, absolutely. And have you always had a strong relationship with God?
I have, not when I was young because I blamed him for my disease. I blamed him for what he gave me. I blamed him why he gave it to me and so on. But now I say thank you. And I say it out loud. I'd open the window and shout it from the rooftop. Thank you, Jesus, because you gave me something different than somebody else. Yes, the beginning was a very, very tough roller coaster. There was very dark times. There'll still be dark times. It's not like it went away. It's not like a cold, but not worrying about it. Living life and going straight to the next level of what's for me. I believe in destiny. I will say that. And I believe that what's meant to be is meant to be. And I believe that being an entertainer, whether it's an actor, an author, or a stand-up comic, I believe that was meant to be. I believe that when you're born, God gives you a book and he signs it. He opens the first page, that's your birthday, you're born. Every page in that book till you hit the cover is up to you how you fulfill it. How you fulfill it. And if you fulfill it with great stuff, so be it. If some fortune tellers believe in the palm of the life, and I believe that we're born with a book. We know the day we're born, we don't know the day we die. But all those blank pages of every single day of our lives that we go through and we live. And every day it's up to us on what we stamp on those pages.
That is so beautifully said. Like I have the chills. Like you don't think about it that way all the time,
I don't.
But it's such a great analogy. Like I'm thinking about that now and I'm going, okay, so maybe I'm, close to halfway through my book. And it's like, how do you want your story to end? And that should be the driving force behind what you do, right?
Right. Listen, some books are really small when babies pass away, and some books are really large when certain people get to 100 and somewhat. I've heard 112, 118. So those are really big books. You can't be worrying about what the book itself. You got to worry about filling the pages. You got to worry about what you put on that page. For me today, my book is I'm on next with Madison. That to me is a big page in my book for today. And
well, thank you.
And it's just I think it's just go with life, go. Like I said, you have to open those doors. Otherwise, you're always gonna go wondering, well, I could have, well, I should have, I didn't, I don't know why. Just open them. Open those doors. Run out. Find your dream. Find your passion, the fire that's in you. Because you're born with that fire. You're born with that passion. And don't hope that somebody's gonna come knock on your door and say, hey, do you want to be a painter or a singer or a dancer today? Because we have an opening. No. You get out there. Run, jump, go fly, be Superman straight out, and be who you are every day, because that's what we have in life, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to go back quickly to, you mentioned destiny. You know, everybody's got a destiny. How much of life do you feel is predetermined?
For me,
For anyone, really.
for anybody, depending on how they can you re-say that question? I'm sorry.
You talked about like like it's your destiny. You know,
That's
like
my destiny, 100%.
we have a purpose. Like we all have a purpose on this planet. And some people think, you know, you're given kind of direction, but it's up to you. And that's where free will comes in. But then there's other people that believe, well, you know, your story's kind of been really written. And then you're kind of following along this destiny of the whole, if it's meant to be, it'll be, or things happen for a reason. It could go along that.
I believe in all three of those. I believe in destinies. I believe things are meant to happen for a reason. And I believe what's going to be is going to be all the time. But it's up to you to get to that level. It's up to you. You obviously, Madison, woke up one day and said, I want to start a podcast. And you also said, I'm going to be a comic. It's up to you to go out there and do those things. Destiny is, if it's meant to be, this happens to be meant to be for me, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't the New York Times bestsellers list. Maybe I didn't land on a sitcom or a lead in a film. But I get to be on a stage. And that to me is the most powerful gift ever. You know, I'm a big Lucille Ball fan. I mentioned her in the past. And Lucille Ball always wanted to be the clown. If you know her story, her story of Lucille Ball is that she went to drama class, didn't get in, sent back home, and then she got into a movie after doing Cigarette Girl commercials. And they asked Lucille Ball, we need a girl. They didn't ask Lucille Ball. I'm sorry. We're going to rewind. They said, we need a person to throw a pie in. And she went, I'm here. We need a person to throw in mud. I'm here. We need a person to be the clown of the party. And she said, I'm here. So she had already basically said to herself, I'm going to color my hair red. I'm going to color my hair red. I'm going to make myself look funny. And I'm going to get those jobs that belong to me. And she said, once she landed Hollywood, she never turned back. She never missed a day of work.
Yeah, she's such an inspiration to so many people. Even if you're not doing Hollywood, I think it's just the story of going after what you want, you know, and because this was always kind of your vision. You broke in younger, where some people like myself, my dream when I was 14 was to be super rich. God definitely slapped that out of my hand for a temporary moment. But I said, I want to be in finance and I'm going to be an investment banker in Wall Street. And then I accomplished all that and I got into the big investment bank and I said, this is it? Well, this sucks. And then I thought, well, I'm going to have my own business then, you know, anything with, and then I decided to be a comic and I loved it and it was passion, but I didn't realize, you know, how hard it was actually gonna be. And, you know, obviously I'm still in the business and I've, you know, it's opened so many other doors to so many cool things in entertainment that I've got going on. But it's one of those things where it's like you don't always know where you're supposed to end up, and you kind of have to go through those, but you kind of had a clear path a little bit.
I guess so. I mean, the clear path was that I wanted to be in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, because for me, I sometimes, when entertainment got really tough and things weren't going my way and it wasn't as easy, it was like sometimes you would say, did I make the right decision? How would my life be different had I stayed in finance? And the reason
Never
I kept
second guess yourself. Never second guess yourself. This is
well, yeah, that's
your
it.
calling.
Well, that's exactly right. And I remember saying to myself, well, I'd have more money, but I don't think I'd be happy. And that's when I knew, okay, it's the right thing. But it's always rediscovering yourself within the business and, prying those doors open and using what you have. I mean, I've got, a great business background, and the financial background, how can that give me an advantage, in the art world? And it's kind of how I've gotten more into kind of producing and more on the kind of executive side, which I'm loving. And more doors seem to be kind of opening for me than just traditional acting. So I think it's another thing too, is I think you kind of have to be know what you want in the area, but also be open to different opportunities coming your way.
Oh,
And don't,
100%.
yeah, not to be like
100%.
closed off, to be like, no, this is what I'm doing. You kind of got to let opportunities kind of, happen. If something new comes along, kind of maybe explore it.
It's funny you said that. Growing up, when I was doing acting and stuff like that, and jobs were scarce, there were times where there would be years where there would be nonstop, and then there was times when there would be years there would be nothing or little to nothing. And my mother's family said, why doesn't he go get a job at McDonald's? And instead of doing this, what does he think he's going to be, the next Robert De Niro? And to me, it was more as an offense, like a slap in the face, especially from them, than more than anything else. Now, why they would say this, I have no idea. But somebody might take that and throw themselves in a closet and say they're right. I'm gonna go get myself a job at McDonald's. I'm gonna go close my accounts, my websites, my everything, and become a McDonald's employee. Not me. No way. Never.
Yeah.
Go, fight, run, jump, skip, hop, whatever you gotta do. I know chefs that work so hard and they just don't know how to find the right click. And I try to tell them, all you need to do is do research. You know what I mean? Do whatever you have to do. Do a free class. Teach a class. If that's what your knowledge is, teach a class. Give somebody else your knowledge. A starving mind that wants to learn, absolutely. They'll find something that they may be able to use in their future. 100%.
Yeah, no, it is true. So how do you, what would be your advice on how to drown out the outside noise of people telling you how maybe you should live your life, or people saying, I don't know if that's really going to work, because every idea is a bad idea until it succeeds in other people's minds. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly.
I tell mind their business.
So
what would I tell people? Again, it's like, don't listen to them. It's just mouths talking, just little mouths are talking, and they're just going up, and they just want to flatten your balloon. They want to take that helium out, and they just want that balloon to go flat because of their situation in their life, because they're not happy at where they are. So they figure, I'm not happy. I'm going to take you down with me, and we'll both be on the ground. No way. No how. No. You go out there. If what you have to do, you do it. Because, I have a friend of mine. She is a captain on the ferry, the New York City Staten Island ferry.
Okay.
And, when I heard it, I guess it's wrong for me to say, and I said to her mother, your daughter, a girl, is the captain of the ferry. And, you could do anything in life. Anything you want in life. As long as it puts love in your heart, passion has to come out, and you just enjoy it. Enjoy it. I enjoy, the hard work of my labor, the fruits of my labor. I enjoy it. When I'm on that stage and I hear the people laugh at my joke, where the laughter goes from this side of the room all across to the other side. And that's when I come off the stage and I have a smile on my face. Listen, there's days I come off the stage and I hated my set, or there was noise, or somebody laughed, or the joke didn't click, or somebody did something to throw me off. So there's 100, but always get back on that horse. Always have your sword in hand and fight. Go for it, because we don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring.
I know. Well, I have to ask this too, because we're both in the comedy space, and with COVID kind of really limiting and taking it away for a lot of people. I mean, there's some Zoom shows and things like that. Do you find yourself getting depressed because we don't have that need? I mean, John Mulaney just went into rehab because he realized, he's like, I can't function without working, and I have no work.
It's hard. It's very hard for us entertainers. It is very hard. Like, I have a friend, she's a doctor, and I talk to her, and she says to me, I have not been so busy in my career since I've started. And I'm like, she's like, well, how's your career? And I'm like, well, my career is in the toilet right now because, somebody decided to pull the plug on the entertainment.
I know.
And I just, I booked shows other place. I'm going to be appearing in Florida. I'm going to be appearing in Naples, Florida, January 15 and 16 at the Off the Hook Comedy Club with Adam Carolla. So excited.
Oh, good. Congrats on that. That is so exciting.
And January 22nd and 23rd, I'll be at the Boca Black Box in Boca Raton, Florida, with Chris Porter. So these are, like, again, gifts of God. These are more pages in my book. These are more stuff that I have to look forward. So rather than you just act depressed or go to sleep, stay in PJs or sweatpants all day and walk the streets like a poor boy, no. I'm going to go and entertain out there. And people have asked me, are you crazy? You're going to Coronavirus Central? I already had it. All right. If that's meant to be, well, then I get it again, God forbid. But I have to work. I can't stand it.
Well, that's exactly right. And with this whole Corona thing, I mean, when did people become the Department of Health? You know what I mean? Like, everybody needs to just stay healthy, do what's best for them, and stop judging other people. People need to work, okay? This disease has a very high survival rate. If somebody wants to work, it is not your job to judge. It is your job to mind your own business or support. We've got to work.
You're right. 100%. It's funny. I'll make you laugh. Now, I don't know if it'll make you laugh, but I'm going to tell you this. Governor Cuomo said in New York City, you cannot have more than 10 people at your table for Christmas. Wow. Yeah,
fuck off.
Is he
ain't coming to my house.
My door? Is he coming to my door to sing, excuse me, hi, I'm Andrew Cuomo, and I'm going to count how many, wait, you got 12, you got 2 guests, they got to leave. Or they could eat their meal in the doghouse. What?
I know. This whole thing is so awful. And it's like, what is it? We know so much more about it. And you know what? I always push vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc. You'll be fine.
Always.
It's like people need to do what's best for them. So I am happy that you booked those shows in Florida and you're going to go make people laugh. I mean, I'm about to do the same thing. I'm going to go down. I've got friends that have relocated there.
Down.
Yeah.
Come up down. Love to see you. We could have lunch in Boca or in
Oh my
Malibu.
God, that would be amazing.
In Miami, I meant to say. my goal is, I got lucky. A friend of mine moved down there, and she's like, come down and visit. And I said, all right. She goes, well, there's comedy clubs.
Yes.
What? There's comedy clubs?
I know.
And I think they're open. They're open? Oh, boy, am I on my way.
Mm-hmm.
I
know.
My sister goes, are you going to take Greyhound or the bus? The bus? Greyhound? Well, no, I'm going to fly JetBlue. JetBlue? You're going to go on an airplane? Oh, my God, you're going to come on. Come on. Relax.
I think that the media is causing fear. It is not that scary. Do what's best for you. I always tell people that, but leave other people alone. It is not our time to judge. It is our time to support and stay positive and kind to one another.
And rise from it. Rise from it. You know,
get on a plane, because guess what? That air in that plane is safer than the air in your home.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yep.
And let me tell you something. There was, during quarantine, I wrote 37 brand new jokes. Now, are they funny? Don't know,
but that is a great, but that's a great, like, at least you were doing something. That's the most important thing I've always.
You got to. You sit there and you're going to go, what am I going to do today? I can't leave my house. Governor Cuomo said I must stay at home and keep the TV on because we need the viewers.
Yeah, nobody needs to listen to him. That's the problem. It's too many people listen to him. Everyone needs to stop listening to him and be like, no, fuck off. We're opening.
I mean, it's like, I have nothing against the governor. He's doing a great job, handling it for New York, but I don't like
You're one of the first people I've ever heard say that, by the way.
I don't have anything against it, but I'm upset that he shut out comedy clubs and he shut them on.
Decimated the city and people's lives.
Yep, and my home club is Governor's Comedy Club on Long Island, and the owner went out of his way to fulfill it. He made the stage look like those arcade. You put a dollar in, and it says "Welcome to Zoloft. Here's your fortune." So it looked like one of those. It looked like a Shark Tank. It looked like I was ready to swim. And he made special airing for breathing and all kinds of filtrations and all kinds of, and still we got closed, and we thought we were going to be able to stay open.
I know.
Unfortunately. It's horrible. It's just horrible. It's a bad time, but it's we have to enjoy the holiday season, and we have to, do what we have to do and live life, because
absolutely.
I know people, they haven't left their house in like 8 months. Like, what?
To have that much fear around you has got to be mind-boggling.
You haven't left your house in 8 months?
My heart breaks for them.
Oh my God.
It's like stop watching the news. Did you ever see that meme? It was like these two Amish people, and there was a reporter that said, why hasn't the coronavirus impacted you? And they go, because we don't have TV. It's the media that's causing this, fear, you're going to die. Turn it off. Turn the shit off. And live your life. Live your life.
100%.
If you're listening to the media at this point in your life, you got something else coming to you because you've been living it a lot.
I gotta say, I went to a place. I went to a wake, to be clear. Mm-hmm. And this person had on, I swear, I thought she was ready for the Jackie Gleason show. She had a shower cap on. It's not raining, but she got a shower cap. Double gloves, double mask, and a shield.
That's a nut job right there. I'm sorry.
And she still got corona. So guess what?
Because she's breathing in all her toxic shit.
All the shit is going in. When I take off my mask, I feel like I have lead in my tongue because I'm recycling my own
they're oxygen. Not good for you.
They're not. And unfortunately, if we
don't wear it down in Florida. Breathe the air. Take in the vitamin D. Take your vitamin C. Just breathe in what God gave you.
Mother Nature.
God's gift, exactly.
God's gift. I can't wait to be on that stage, make people laugh, and be able to be me again, be able to be Mario, and be able to have somebody say to me, well, tonight you were funny. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it brings that greatness back, you know. So before we wrap up, one of the last things I wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
what is advice that you have for people um, about to feel comfortable in their own skin?
How would I label that? Let's see. Feel comfortable in my own skin.
It's like
Just
that
be you.
confidence.
Just be you. Have your confidence. Don't let
Mm-hmm.
somebody put you down. Don't let somebody tell you you're not good for whatever you want to do. Don't let nobody tell you, the individual, that somebody called you and said, well, you wouldn't make a good pastry chef because your cupcakes are ugly. What? Who says
Right.
that bullshit? No
Yeah.
way. Just be you. Don't lose your fire, your passion, your strength that you worked hard to. I know people, you tell them and tell them and tell them and tell them over again, go after what you want to do, and they still come back with the same line, but I don't know how. What do you mean
Yeah.
you don't know how? What do you mean you don't know how? You know how to go to bed, you know how to eat, you know how to get food, you know how to
Yeah.
cook. Go out and do what's on your plate. Don't look at what's not there. People, that's the problem with people today. That's
Yeah.
the problem. Just go out there. And you don't know,
Very
like I
well
told
said.
you, the book, when I say the Destiny book, today's another stamp in the page. Live it. Make that stamp for today be the best stamp you had. And listen, there's not
Love
going to
that.
always be all 5-star stamps. There'll be pages where there might be 1-star stamp, where it might not be the best of, but look for tomorrow. Listen, I have days where I could get bad thoughts, negativity in my life, whatever, but there's always tomorrow. Tomorrow is a gift that we will open when we open our eyes tomorrow morning. Some people always say to me, well, I don't get gifts every day. Or do they come in boxes? Do I have to wrap them? No, the gift is you. Get up, wake up, wash your face, brush your teeth, comb your hair, put a bow tie on. Whatever it makes you to do to make you special, smile, laugh, make you happy, go out there. Hit it with a mallet, a hammer, what's that thing they call when the guys used to chop wood with?
An
Uh,
axe?
an axe. Hit the day with an axe and make it special. Make it you. Like I said, I see a lot of commercials for Shriners Hospital children,
Yes.
and I look at that and I say, wow, that was me. That was me a long time ago at Shriners Hospital, where I was at Mount Sinai, and I look at these kids in a wheelchair and I say to myself, wow, I am one more blessed than them because I am able to walk. And then there were kids when I was in the hospital that either had one arm or no leg. There was a
Yeah.
kid that had cancer, came in beautiful young girl, 12 maybe, and she came back and she had come back from surgery. And, and I'm there looking at myself going, and I only have a feeding tube, and I'm able to eat, and I'm able to walk and live life. And I think that's where I got my fire, my passion, my strive for the entertainment industry, for all different things. That's where I think I got mine.
It's so beautifully said, and I love that book reference you've made a couple times, and it makes you want, make sure it's a great stamp and opening your eyes, and it's a gift. And thank you for providing my gift today, which was being a guest on my podcast. I really
I
appreciate it.
thank you. One more thing. You know, um, your gifts come every day from God. Open them.
Amen.
Live life. Live life. Go out there and do it. You know, if it what it takes you to do it, do it. Don't think about it. Because when you have to think twice about something, you think twice. No, just do it. Do it. Nike says just do it.
That's
Spike Lee
true.
says just do it. Just do it, and
Yeah.
and live life, and hope they follow me. And
Yeah. So where can people find you?
Okay, so on Facebook you can find me at Mario Bosco.
Mm-hmm.
On Instagram it's Mario Bosco 2, and on Twitter it's Mario Bosco. And my website is marioboscocomedy.com.
Awesome. And you guys on the next2madison.com website under Mario's episode will be all the quick links so you can, go follow Mario on his journey and reach out.
I cannot wait to enjoy this episode. I enjoy
Me
other
too.
episodes, and you're an inspiration yourself. And just again, folks, if you want to go see a movie, see a movie. If you want pancakes for dinner, pancakes for dinner. It don't have to be chicken cutlets or eggplant or pasta. Nobody wrote that book.
Exactly. Well said. Well, Mario, thank you so much for being on the show, and you guys listening, wherever you're listening, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Next to Madison, and we'll see you guys next time to find out who's next. Hey, your host here, Madison Malloy. Please make sure to subscribe to the show on all podcast platforms, and please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. Also, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at contact@next2madison.com. I thank you again for listening. Bye.